past, fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
I was once a proud and noble warrior. However, this feels humiliating. Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku and Melissa. Now, I flipped a coin in the last part to decide exactly how the series would go. If we'd follow the canon timeline, or diverge away from that. Now, we diverged away from it. Melissa, she finally summoned a spirit animal, or a familiar. And that just so happened to be a giant white wolf. Which, yeah, she's been having trouble controlling. And after some guidance from Izuku, she's found a way to increase and decrease its size, since that was becoming a problem very quickly. Now, we do actually cut to the next morning, where Melissa, she is lying in bed, and she's heavily asleep. And you do actually have the wolf that Melissa has summoned, the tiny looking pup that is currently under one of her arms, and she's holding tightly. Now, you also do have Izuku, who he is in the blade, and he's trying to think about what he can do to solve his problem. Now, he's trying to come up with solution after solution, and many of them, they would not be able to be even attempted. Many involve magic, or the wizard known as Merlin, who Midoriya does not believe to be alive in this day and age. Now, you do actually then have the wolf, or the tiny little pup, that would get away from Melissa. Since Midoriya, he's at least talking a little loud. And the blade that he's holstered in, or the holster the blade's in, it does fall off of the side of Melissa's bed, as the blade does come undone from the sheath, and the tiny wolf does jump out and onto the ground. It's walking under the bed to go investigate. Now, we do then actually have, let's just say 30 minutes later, whenever Melissa's alarm does go off. And Melissa, she does get up, turn, and slam her fist down onto the alarm, as she does begin to stretch, and then she does look down at the spot where the tiny little wolf was at the night before, and she is confused. Her going to look at the door, thinking that the tiny wolf will be right there, and either waiting for her to go outside, or it's probably doing its business somewhere. Now, Melissa does then turn to go and grab the blade, where it usually would be. Melissa finding that whenever she does actually stand up, the blade's on the ground, and it's been unsheathed. Now, she can tell just looking at it that it's not that bad. Her picking it up as she does put at least an inch of the blade back into the holster, as she does go to set it up and ask exactly if Izuku is doing better this morning. and if he's going to help her train since she did have another day off, since her friend felt bad about her being called in. Now, there is no response, and Melissa does find it to be quite weird. Usually, Izuku, he answers her straight away. However, this is a first. Hello? Are you in there? No response. Can you sleep in there? No, I cannot. Now, Melissa is confused, since that voice just came from behind her. And she does hold the blade, bringing it up to her ear asking if he can say that again. No, I cannot. However, I am not currently inhabiting that vessel. Turn around. Now, Melissa, she does turn around, as there you see the wolf puppy sitting on her bed. As she does stare at it for a second, asking if that's really him. Yes, I appear to be able to jump to your familiar. Now, Melissa, she does actually go to bend down and forwards, as she does go to touch the puppy and actually make sure that it's really him in there. Now, after a bit of convincing, or at least a small little that can't be seriously right, yeah, it's him. Now, this is where Melissa, she's trying to piece it all together and think about what could have happened. As Midoriya, he jumps off the bed and does say a simple word, as he does go to walk towards the door and bring up the claws to scratch it, saying magic. Now, yeah, a lot's gonna happen here. Now, Midoriya, he is happy to be free of that blade, being able to sort of stretch your body. It's kind of weird. And then there's his predicament. Now, you do actually have Melissa, who, at the request of Izuku, she does give the wolf a bit more heroic spirit, as the wolf does go to the size of a normal dog. Now, the puppy goes quickly from, at least let's just say, I want to say 7 pounds would be normal for a wolf pup that large? I'm trying to think. It goes from, let's just say, 7 pounds to at least being a 55-pound wolf. And if anyone does know exactly how big a dog is at 50 pounds, yeah, they are nothing to mess around with. Now, the wolf does begin to walk through the apartment, as it does jump onto the couch. Now, we do actually then have where All Might, he's supposed to swing by this morning, and he has not been made aware of this little predicament. Now, All Might, he's busy. He has been through quite a bit on his travel. He's getting back from a hero agency and he's going to stop by home. After that, he's got to head right back out and make sure he can help keep the peace. Now, as Melissa is pouring coffee and talking with Arthur, you do have All Might who does walk in. And he does ask Melissa how she's doing this morning, as she does give an explanation. Now, Melissa tries to tell All Might about the strange thing that has happened, asking if pets are allowed in the building. To which All Might, as he does lean over the counter, does tell her that, sadly, certain pets are not allowed, asking her if she was planning to get an animal soon, and trying to tell her about the responsibilities of being a hero and basically owning a pet. To which Melissa, yeah, she's cut off by the next few words she wanted to say by Midoriya loudly announcing to All Might to turn around. All Might, shocked for a second, and turning around to find a giant wolf that is currently looking up to him and is at waist level with him. All Might looking down for a second before going to bring his hands up as Arthur, Izuku, would inform him to not do that. This wolf can talk. It is a pleasure to meet you, All Might. It is I, Izuku. This is the guy who was in your sword, right? Yes. I don't know how it happened. This is what I was going to talk to you about. Well, you see, it's magic. Of course, it explains everything. Melissa just staring at these two, as she does just think. Usually whenever she's in a situation like this, that might be the word she needs to just say. Now, you do actually then have Izuku, who, after All Might's sort of gotten used to this, he's able to walk outside. As Melissa, she does follow him and actually put him on a leash. Now, this was quite strange. And the only reason why Melissa had to put him on a leash was because of one of her neighbors, who they thought that a giant dog like that would be intimidating if left off the leash. Plus, Melissa might get fined money. And she's a pro, so it's not really very good for her to be breaking the laws, especially when she's trying to enforce them on her hero career. Now, she does walk around Izuku, and not only does he feel humiliated, but somehow he also does feel completely refreshed. He's actually able to move in the physical world. He's able to feel the sun, he's able to feel heat, he's able to feel hunger, and he's able to experience things he hasn't felt in millennia. Now, Melissa sees exactly how excited Midoriya is. And, sadly, it is just as much as a regular dog would be. Now, Melissa, yeah. She does try to get more information about what could have happened. And we even do have where there's later on into the day. Melissa's bought dog food, she's bought a dog bowl, she's bought a few things from Midoriya. Or just specifically the wolf whenever Midoriya isn't inhabiting its body, since he's found that he can jump in between the blade and the wolf at the same time. And Melissa, she does find it all to be quite crazy. As we do have where Midoriya, he jumps out of the wolf and jumps back into the blade, talking about how he hasn't felt this, way in a very long time. I'm not surprised. Listen, try not to make a habit of that. I see. I will try not to. Yes, please. Besides, I don't think that thing would really like it if you were to possess it like that all day. Well, actually, I don't think that thing should be referred to as that way. What? That is an animal, Melissa. One you intend to keep, do you not? Well, yes, but then it is only proper that you give it a name. Besides, I was happy to enjoy my freedoms for some time. However, I do understand. I'll only inhabit during combat scenarios. Wait, you can't just... Actually, that's kind of better than I thought. Yes, I'm aware. You do not have to give the wolf direction. I can. You can focus on your own battles, and I can actually be of assistance. Along with that, I can use myself and my mind to prevent the wolf from getting too dangerously injured in case a scenario does come up where we are needed heavily in combat. Now, Melissa, yeah, she's trying to think. With how crazy today's been, with how she's had to deal with all this, it's quite insane. And she does go to watch TV to try to clear her mind for a second. As on the news it's talking about the previous day, where Melissa and Lemillion, they teamed up, along with Melissa's sidekick, which, after some interviewing and digging, is not actually a pro hero, but is believed to be an animal Melissa Shield has found herself. As people have nicknamed this giant wolf that can shrink and increase in size Fenrir. Now, Melissa, she's kind of taken aback by that. Not only have people been looking into her personal life, since some of the things she did see on the news, but apparently they've already chosen a name for her quote-unquote sidekick. So, that just means that today is a little less complicated. However, it does still make her feel like someone's getting a bit too close. Now, with that being said, the day does end, and Melissa, she would return to her room for the night. Now, with all that, we do actually have somebody who is close by, as they examine the hero's apartment, and they simply just wonder. This would be a perfect opportunity to attack. However, with what they do know about the shield, or the sword, not the shield, they believe that Arthur, or that being inside the blade, is aware 24/7. So, attacking right now would be useless. Especially because if they don't get a direct beeline for the wielder, then, well, yeah. Not only would they be screwed, but they would be completely, well, out of their little sneak attack. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.